So you got the slides back up. Does that work for you? I just wanted to minimize it so I
Yeah,
can
it's working. It works fine.
Okay, perfect.
So the Eberhard Ag Solutions folks have put together this one pager that basically lays out the steps of how to go about stuff. Talks about supplies. Talks about conditions. It talks about sampling and the whole process. And I think it's simple. And anything that's can make a complex topic simpler is a good thing. And again, for the purposes of today's talk and for the purposes of this season, I think as simple as we can make it is a really positive deal. So the list basically is this. You want to collect samples in paper bags. You want to make sure your hands are clean, or you could use nitrile gloves. They're always very sexy. Sample the newest leaf or leaves. Some people with some crops will sample the top 3 inches as an example. The main point here is stay consistent and tell the lab what you did. If we want to dive into the weeds of variability of the analytics, morning sampling is less variable than afternoon, especially for nutrients like potassium. If herbicide or something fairly impactful has been applied, the rule of thumb is to allow the crop enough time to grow a new leaf before you get out there and sample. In other words, to let the crop metabolize whatever it is that you've put on it, and that would include fertilizer, fungicide, other things. And then collect enough leaf material to form a loosely packed softball-sized ball of biomass. So you don't need a bale. You just need a small, loosely packed sized ball of biomass. You put the stuff in a bag. You keep the bag open. So you don't close the bag. You don't freeze the bag. You keep the bag open and let it air dry on the dash of the truck or car or whatever. And you send it to the lab and stay consistent with the lab. And we've already talked about that here a while.
Is there a window under which you want to get that tissue material to the lab? Is there a window past which you would say, well, we don't want to submit these?
Not if the material's dry. If the material is relatively dry, there's no big time crush, but obviously the sooner the better.